Welcome everybody to be on the Barricade. I am your host, Papa Dank. Hope everybody's having a good time this afternoon. Everybody's safe. Let me bring to you my very special guest, the one, the only Nyxx. What's going on?
How you doing? How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Let's start off with some upcoming events you got going on.
So I have a show tomorrow with Premier Pro Wrestling. I am currently their women's champion, and then November 4th, I have the show with All Pro Wrestling, my home company. It's going to be our biggest show of the year, the CEO.
There
Um,
you go.
we're excited about that. Before I jump ahead of myself, I also have a show this Sunday for Memphis Wrestling as well. So your friendly neighborhood goddess of the night will be everywhere.
You're all over. I got some other events.
Oh yeah,
All Pro, Rumble in the Valley.
I always love a good Cherry Valley show. The crowd there is always great. So I'm super.
There's Smitty. I know Smitty.
Yeah, we love Smitty.
And I just met Austin.
Oh, Austin's great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's awesome. Yeah. And then you have Winter Draw on 12
Just
too.
in time for the holiday season. Who doesn't want a good APW show for the holiday season, you know? So
Absolutely.
come on out, get some good old probably Christmas treats. I might wear a Santa hat, who knows, So
Absolutely. Awesome. Awesome. You got a comment already in here. Leanne says, hey, how are
hey,
you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
All right. Let's start off with, how did you fall in love with professional wrestling?
I have been in love with professional wrestling my entire life. Probably since before I could walk. And I got into it because I have two older brothers and they're into it. And all of how like the WWE would be like, don't try this stuff at home.
Right. Right.
Brothers could read because they tried all of that stuff at home. So I was their crash test dummy for like all the super cool moves that, you saw on television. Now, granted, in hindsight, because hindsight is always 2020, that was very dangerous. So do not ever do that. Go get trained.
Right.
But that's pretty much where I got my start with my love of wrestling. So
awesome. Did you watch the product at that time?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So who were some of your favorites? So we can get that out in the open.
So a lot of favorites, I'll say like Jazz and
okay.
Of course, like the red hair definitely started with Lita for me. I was, oh God, to say this out loud again, I was married to for 16 years in my head. I was very much in love with John Cena growing up. So
John Cena. Who doesn't love John Cena?
A lot of people actually.
That's true.
You either really love the guy or you really hate him for whatever reason. But then of course, like I loved like the Stone Colds and, The Rock and Triple H, like just everybody who could get me emotionally invested in any way I was in love with. I actually hated Randy Orton's guts, but as an adult, I can recognize how he had me emotionally invested.
Right.
So I love the guy. Like '09 Orton, I use him as a reference all the time. Like that big era of Randy Orton. So,
Awesome. Soon, hopefully he'll be back soon. He's making a training or something.
Sure hope so. Yeah.
All right, let's go into where did you go train? Who were your trainers and what were your thoughts during that initial training?
Okay, so the very first training that I ever went to, it was a company called North Delta Championship Wrestling in Greenville, Mississippi. And that was back in like, I want to say March of, no. Maybe like February of 2020. And that initial training, like that first bump, the first time I hit the ropes, I instantly fell in love. It was like something finally clicked. Career-wise, it made sense because I've been everything from like a childcare provider to a hostess to a warehouse worker, a janitor, all that. And of course, like none of those career paths made sense for me. It was just a way to get money. Very first time that I got in the ring, I was like, oh yeah, this is it. And then COVID happened and shut everything down. And I was like, okay, super depressing.
Yeah.
I wanted to chase my dreams or anything, like it's fine. But when 2021 rolled around and stuff was finally opening back up, I reached out to Gio Savage because I met him through the thing at North Delta, and I was like, hey, anywhere that's closer to Memphis that in a new female worker, because a lot of my issues that I ran into was like they wouldn't train new people or they wouldn't train women or they just didn't answer me at all.
Oh wow.
But he was like, yeah, there's a place, it's closer than Greenville, but it's still gonna be a bit of a drive. Is a place in Marianna, Arkansas, called All Pro Wrestling. And I was like, okay, just like give me the promoter's name or whatever. I'll reach out to him. I'll see what's up with that.
Right.
And yeah, his name is Ricky Kennedy. Here's his Facebook. Just reach out. So I reached out to Ricky, and I was like, hey, I really just want a place to train. I don't care where I have to go. Just like if you have a spot, let me know. And he was like, okay, well, we have a show coming up this Saturday. If you want to see what's out first, then whatever. So I went out to the show, and I fell in love. All Pro Wrestling is just so great. Everything is great. The crowd's great. The locker room is great. Like everything is it was just magical. So I was like, yeah, I think this is the place for me. I think.
Right.
The very next training they had, I went out, and the rest has just been history. Like that's home for me. So,
okay. Who are some of your trainers over there? That actually train?
So, of course, like Ricky was one of the main guys, but our main like number one trainer, his name is Matthew Banks. He goes by Buck Skinner in the ring. Dude is a rock star. He's just great. He's actually been at New Japan recently. So
I heard of him.
He's amazing.
Yeah, I've definitely heard of him.
And then we have Reaper, and then of course there's because there's like a hierarchy. So like Ricky and Reaper kind of, and like Floyd, they're all at the top, and there's like Austin and Too Good and all that, and then like it's like kind of the rest of us, whoever trickled in later. But like our main number one trainer at the top is like it's Buck, Ricky, and Reaper. Those are like our main people.
Okay. After you're done your initial training, what was your first match? Who was your opponent, and what were your thoughts during that match?
Oh my God. So my very first match, that was June 19th of 2021. I went against a guy named Black Mask. And in case you were unaware, it's just a guy in a black mask. But I was so nervous. I was like beyond nervous. The match wasn't even, it was kind of a squash match. I think the match was like a minute and a half long, and I just like kicked the crap out of him.
Nice.
But the whole entire time I was just a nervous wreck. Like if you would like see my chest, you could probably see my heart like pounding.
Beaten.
But it was really fun though, especially because I was a heel. So it was just a moment where I could just be bad, and it was just a great time. So it was fun, scary.
Awesome. All right, let's go into toughest match you've had with an opponent so far, and why.
Ooh, the toughest match that I've had. God, I've had so many.
I mean, you don't have to just choose one. You can choose a couple.
Well, I'll go with the toughest match that I can think of off the top of my head. Probably the Fatal 4-Way that I had for the Memphis Wrestling Women's Championship, just because Fatal 4-Ways are just
tough.
A lot.
A lot to handle.
When it's just a singles match, the only person that you really have to worry about is like that one person. With a Fatal 4-Way, I'm literally going against 3 other people just for this one thing. So that's probably the quote unquote toughest match that I could think of that I've had.
Okay, who were your opponents?
Mackenzie Morgan, Cassandra Golden, and Diana Taylor.
Okay. Who won?
Me.
All right. At least you won your toughest match, so that's good.
Yeah. So.
All right. An opponent you want to wrestle that you haven't wrestled so far, and why?
Ooh,
There's a lot of good ones.
There are so many. An opponent that I want to wrestle, Mickie James.
Mickie James. Okay, how come? Why do you want to wrestle?
Because I've loved her since I saw her debut. Like she's and then like the fact that she can still go the way she can go, I feel like whatever match we put on would just be phenomenal. Even if she has to all the time, which she probably will, because she's a vet. But I would just love to have that happen. The storytelling would be great, especially like on my part, because I've been a fan of hers for so long. So it could be like how she came in, she was like the super crazy psycho fan. I could be that. Like that's fine. I'll play that role. But yeah, I could work her.
Okay. We got a comment for you. I think Nyxx versus Anastasia Morningstar would be one hell of a great match.
Ooh.
Do you know Anastasia?
Mm-hmm.
You do?
Okay.
Do you know her?
Somebody book it.
All right. Did you hear what I said? Do you know her?
I've heard the name.
Oh, you've heard it. All right, I'm gonna show you her picture because she's gonna be with me at a big event over here in New York.
Book it. Let's make it happen.
There you go. That's
Ooh, yeah.
Anastasia.
Ooh, book it. Book it. Somebody do it right now.
When she gets all better, she's injured right now. So,
Oh
but
no. Oh
early
well,
next year she'll be back.
speedy recovery. Let's make this happen. I'm excited.
Yeah, she was from out here in New York, but she got injured in Texas.
I've never been to New York. I've always wanted to go. Yeah.
There's a lot of good promotions up here, man.
Yeah.
You were probably like, damn, my hair's all over the place. Goddesses of War is in New Jersey.
Ooh.
They're an all-female promotion.
And I'm the goddess of the night, so I'd fit right on in.
There you go. I'm gonna throw out some things for you real quick. Victory Pro Wrestling is one out here in Long Island.
Nice.
Which go to Victory Pro Wrestling, get your tickets for Insanity, where Brittany Brooks will be in action.
Bet.
And Sin Bodhi from Impact.
Cool.
Yeah, so we got to get you to New York.
Yes, you do. Tell your people about me.
I will. I mean, some guests that I've interviewed when I put up your picture that you were coming on, they're like, "Oh, I know her."
Oh, it's always a shock when people are like, "Yeah, I know you." I'm like, "Why? Do you for real? Okay, thanks."
Right. I just had this guy on last night, Jay Davis, the Rottweiler.
Oh snap!
Yeah, he's like, I know her.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he was pretty cool. All right, let's go into some of your favorite hobbies. What do you like to do when you're not in wrestling?
So I'm a bit of a nerd. I like to read. I sing, I dance. I used to do resin art. I had a business and everything, but that kind of got stressful, so I stopped doing that. But mostly I'm just spending time with my kids.
Okay. All right. That's good. Spend time with your kids. Me too.
Yeah. My two little broke best friends. Yeah.
What about favorite foods? What are some of your favorite foods?
Oh, I'm fat, so I just like food in general. I love pasta. I love sushi. Those are kind of like my go-to. But literally anything that's delicious, I will eat it. So yeah, I'm not very picky when it comes to food at all, especially if it's free.
Free food's the best, huh? What is your favorite pasta? Like, is there one particular that really like, man, this is really my thing?
Not really. No.
Okay.
If it's in pasta form, I'll eat it. We'll eat.
Whenever I go have pasta, which isn't that much anymore, I like baked ziti with meatballs.
Ooh.
I always add the meatballs, and it costs me a lot more when you add them, but it's really good.
Treat yourself sometimes, man.
That's true. That's true. Serena says a lot of people know you.
Oh, thanks.
It's true. We people have mentioned you a lot. Let's go back into wrestling. We talk about you haven't been to New York. What other states would you like to wrestle in that you haven't wrestled?
I would love to wrestle in Cali. I was born in California, actually, but I was born to a military family, so like I spent almost no time there before we ended up moving somewhere else. So I love California, especially like as an adult, so I can enjoy and get to know like the state that I was born in.
Right.
I've already wrestled in Texas and like Florida, but I'd love to go back to either one of those states, so that'd be fun. Let's see, Cali. I think Cali and New York are like the main two that I
New York.
want to be able to go.
What about any promotions that really stick out that you want to wrestle in? Independent promotions?
MCW in Maryland. Because in July I did the Mickie James Masterclass. She had her first masterclass, which was like a 3-day thing where she just like pretty much taught us everything as much as she could in those 3 days.
Right.
And then we got to stay and watch the show that they had that weekend, and it was just so awesome.
So you got to meet her?
Yes.
Did she give you any advice?
Yes, she gave me a bunch of solid advice. She even gave me advice as like a mother in this business, which was like a really big thing for me. But yeah, I have like 6 or 7 pages worth of notes specifically from her.
Really?
Yeah. So it was pretty great.
I mean, that's great that a professional wrestler like that can give you family advice too, because it's true. If you guys are on the road, you got, kids and family and all that. It's not easy.
It's not.
No, absolutely.
So
Absolutely. I'm glad she was able to give you that advice.
Same.
I hope it helped you though.
It
That's
did.
another.
It really did. Yeah. And I might have fangirled out just a little bit in my head because I had to keep it professional. But yeah, it was great. It was a great time.
I know of another MCW in Arkansas.
Mm-hmm.
There it is.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Osceola, Arkansas.
Yeah. I know a
Well,
couple guys there. A few people.
yeah, we do a lot of. I think we're their official podcast, I guess, because all the guys come on the show.
Pretty. You had Austin. You had Too Good too, right?
I had Too Good, Ray Ivy, the Clap family, all of them,
Mm-hmm.
a
There's
bunch of people.
a lot of claps.
There's a lot of claps, a lot of claps. What did they say? Who said this? I think it was Tommy. He said there's like 130 something claps.
Close enough. Is close enough? Every time you met all of them, you meet another one. Yeah, that's a lot of them. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she knows Too Good, Austin and Smitty.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
Awesome. Good promotion, good people, always lively. So I want to thank MCW for being a part of Beyond the Barricade. Appreciate that. All right, let's go into. All right, you talking about MCW? Any other promotions stick out to you?
I'm gonna be honest. I'm not really great with promotion names. Most of the time, like they'll reach out to me, and then I'll put them. Like if I work for them, I'll put them in my notes on my phone because I'm liable to forget. My brain is old, man. I'm not good.
Mine too.
So I can't really think of names. Most of the time, it's just like, oh, hey, I've seen this person work before. I'd love to work them at wherever their promotion is.
What about Mission Pro?
I've heard of Mission Pro. Yeah.
Okay.
I think somebody reached out to me for a Mission Pro thing once before, and something fell through with it. Maybe, unless I'm mixing them up with someone else.
Okay. All right.
But
if you had to choose any of the big promotions to work for, which one would you choose and why?
Whichever one will give me a contract so that I can do this full time, feed my kids.
Good answer.
If you asked me when I was a child, of course it would have been WWE because that was the promotion that I was the most familiar with. But now that I'm older and I've had encounters with, WWE and AEW and Impact and stuff like that, it's really just wherever I can work and do what I love to do and also take care of my family.
Okay. Have you done any extra work for any of them?
Mm-hmm.
Which one?
Most recently, AEW.
Okay.
I just had a match.
Oh, you did?
Mm-hmm.
Who'd you wrestle?
You said, who did I wrestle?
Yeah, who did you wrestle?
Layla Hirsch.
Oh, legit Layla Hirsch. Okay.
She is strong.
I hear you.
And it's so much strength in such a compact body. She's like, but it was a fun experience.
I heard she's pretty strong. Yeah.
Yes, very much so.
She's legit. You know what I'm saying?
I never want to fight her in a street fight ever.
Okay.
Like, I fear nobody, but I'm also logical. So, yeah.
Gotcha. Understandable. All right. What about overseas? Any thoughts about going overseas?
Yeah, actually. So I think at some point within like my first year in the business, somebody reached out to me from the UK.
Oh, okay.
He said that he wanted to, I guess, sponsor me for some stuff. And I was like, okay, that sounds cool, but like for what promotion?
Right.
Because I'm not just about to travel overseas. Like that's how people get trafficked. I have, goals. So
right.
I don't really have a promotion in mind. It's just like whatever promotions I could think of. I was like, see, that sounds fishy.
That sounds shady, man.
Like, so I've had people reach out to me for the UK. I would love to wrestle in Japan. 100%. I would love to, but I still have some work cut out for me before I can get to Japan, I feel like. So,
All right. Yeah, man, that sounds real shady.
Doesn't it? Doesn't that just sound weird?
I'd be like, no.
Like emotions and minds like bounce off of me. Don't just be like, oh, well, I don't know, just come out here. No.
That sounds like they're gonna kidnap you and stuff. To be honest with you.
I'm not going. I'm not going.
I don't blame you. I wouldn't go either. It's like, come down here. Yeah, we'll find something for you. I'm like, I don't know about that.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
here.
Okay, good stuff. Good stuff. All right, tell me about some goals you may have set for yourself for the rest of the year. Not that we have much left of it, or into the next year.
Into the next year. I don't know, because I feel like the goals that I've set for myself, I've kind of already like hit them. Um, at this point, I just want to get through the rest of this year safely. Because this line of work is dangerous. People don't always think that it's dangerous because they think wrestling is. No, it's dangerous. It's very dangerous. So I really want to, let me knock on some wood. I really want to get through this year without any injuries.
Right.
So kind of so good. Um, but we still got what, 2 months left. So if I do the rest of these shows and make it home safely to my kids, I'm good. But as far as like the major goals that I had for myself this year, I've already knocked them down. So
Okay. All right. Have you had an injury where it sidelined you?
so it didn't sideline me. It probably should have. But I did a show back in April in Millington, and it was in an armory. So like the ground is made out of pure concrete,
Oh,
and
wow.
I landed on my elbow really hard. And ever since then, my elbow's on and off been giving me some issues, but it hasn't sidelined me yet. Should probably get that checked out though. So
Probably check it out. Yeah, but not in the UK with that guy.
no, 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 no.
Definitely not. All
Yeah.
right. Tell me about your best fan interaction you've had with a fan. What was so good about it?
Best fan interaction. There have been a couple. So there's one that I could think of off the top of my head where I signed somebody's forehead. That was just great. I'd never had somebody ask me to sign a forehead.
Nice.
So that was great. And then because of him, there was one girl, she had me sign like both of her wrists, her back, her forehead, both of her cheeks.
What?
And then at one point she was like, "Can you sign my tongue?" I was like, "No, no, I
You drew the line in the sand with the tongue.
can't." I'm like, first, that's very unsanitary. Like you don't know where the
Right.
arm.
That's
No.
true. Yeah.
Um, there was interaction. It wasn't a face-to-face interaction. So APW had a show in July around the same time as the Mickey James masterclass, and I
Mhm.
was initially on the flyer because I was supposed to be there, but that was before I got the got accepted into the masterclass.
Right.
So I was on the flyer, and there was a little girl that went to that show looking for me, and I felt terrible because she went to that show specifically to see me
Uh,
there. And Gio actually, he FaceTimed me. He was like, "Yeah, she's here. She's super sad." I was like, "Can you go find her so that I can talk to her?" So I got to talk to her over FaceTime while she was at the show so that like she wouldn't feel so bad. And then the following show, I like took a picture with her and like made sure she was smiling and stuff. So that was nice.
awesome. Awesome. Let me see. Where can we go? I had the thought in my head and I kind of lost it because the chat threw me off. There's some sort of spam in there.
Oh,
And I was trying to get rid of it. I'm like, what the hell?
oh
All
no.
right. Tell me about promo work. How's promo work important to you as a professional wrestler?
Promo work should be important to every professional wrestler.
I agree.
Because that's the best way to get your character over. Um, and to be 100% honest, I hate cutting promos. I am not really
Really?
public speaking, but some of my best promos have been
Off the
like,
top of your head?
yeah, if I sit and think about it, I'll probably screw up. But most of the time, when it's off the top of my head, I can just say some stuff and then look back and be like, "Hey, that was kind of cool." Um,
Yeah.
but as a wrestler, like people think that it's just moves, and it's not. People don't care about moves. I've seen people do some of the coolest moves in the world, and the crowd has no reaction.
Right.
People react because they're emotionally invested in the character you put forth.
Right.
Don't have a character, and you can't put that character over in a promo. Nobody's gonna care.
Right.
So, yeah,
I
everybody
agree.
practice promos, even if it's in the mirror to yourself. Just work on them.
What about promoting shows? I know a lot of wrestlers don't promote the shows they're going to be at, even though they should, in my
Yeah,
opinion. What are
I
your thoughts on that?
think all of us as a whole, because even I know that I have to get better at that. I'm self-aware enough to know that I need to get better at that. But if you don't promote the show and then nobody shows up, you can't really blame anybody but yourself. And people showing up is how you get paid. Like,
I think this is my opinion. I think some wrestlers just don't care. They just go and get paid, and then all right, I did a show,
yeah.
and that's it. But that's not how it should be. You should promote independent wrestling because the more it thrives, the more of paydays you guys can get. In the indie scene, obviously, the big leagues is different.
And then also it's a lot harder. Granted, you still have a job to do, but it's a lot harder to put on a show when the crowd is sparse because
Right.
you off of the energy of the crowd. So if there's no crowd to give you energy, then the match kind of falls flat, But
Absolutely.
you show how excited you are to be at that show. That'll make people want to come to the show, and then you have a crowd, and then it's just like it's an exchange,
Right,
you know.
right, right. It's a
So
give and take.
yeah,
Absolutely, absolutely. All right. I think that's all the questions I have for you for today.
boom, killed it.
Boom, you killed it. I learned that sometimes there's people out there trying to kidnap you guys. I learned that today.
Only a lot, yeah.
Yikes. All right. Tell everybody where they can follow you, and then we'll put up the shows real quick.
You can follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok at Nyxx the Goddess. I'm not on Twitter as much as of recent, but Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram for sure. That's where you can find me. That's where I promote all of my shows. So if you want to see where I'm going to be, go to any one of those things, and they will be.
All right, and coming up for Nyxx is All Pro Wrestling, the CEO, where she will be live and in action.
Y'all have to be at this show. This is our biggest show of the year.
There you go. Go get your tickets if you're in the area.
Ringside sold out, but general admission is not. So let's make it happen, y'all. Let's sell it out.
All right. Come down and see Nyxx, as well as my pal No Pity Smitty and Austin Wrathchild. Make sure you see my friends there. Tell them Papa Dank sent you if you get tickets. And then you got another show on the 18th at All Pro Wrestling, the Rumble in the Valley.
Yep. See that girl right there with those 2 belts? I want to get my hands on her again. So hopefully she
What's her name?
Rosa Azulita.
Rosa Azulita. Okay, all right. And then Winter Draw coming up in December.
And who doesn't want to see the goddess during the winter season? Come on. Santa comes to, but so does the goddess. Come on now.
That's right. And there you are next to the A.
Yep.
Also, right above you, Smitty.
and hi, Smitty. Come see us, y'all. It's going to be a great show.
Smitty is in the house. All right. As for me, up now, my YouTube channel is my latest vlog interaction where I'm talking with the former BPW champion, Valentina. She does not look happy, Nyxx.
At all. Oh, my goodness. What did I say to her?
But Alvin Alvarez in the back looks very happy for whatever reason. I don't know what's going on with Alvin. And then coming up next, I have Queens coming at from my time at New Evolution this past weekend. That vlog is coming up, and I am talking to Samoan royalty right there as Chris Angels stops by and says hello alongside Bobby C. And what is going on with his wig?
I don't know. I was gonna ask. It's not giving, but that's okay.
It's not giving. After that will be Mount Olympus for Titan Championship Wrestling over in New Jersey. Make sure you go to Titan Championship Wrestling to get your tickets for this huge Rumble happening. Just announced Harleen Lopez will be in action for Goddesses of War, representing Goddesses. And then after that, I got the big event right here in New York next, as I am hanging out with Brittany Brooks.
Ooh.
The one and only. Have you heard of Brittany Brooks?
I haven't, but I love her smile. It's gorgeous.
She has a good smile. Yes. She's also blowing up the scene over in the West Coast. And I will be hanging out also with Anastasia. Oof. And Nahir Robles from Puerto Rico.
He booked me with Anastasia.
I know. We got to get that going. Then after big event, everybody can go to VPW to see Insanity, where Brittany will be in action. No. Everybody's going to be in action.
Yeah.
Tatiana, the new champion. Jack Tomlinson, the Rap Bastards. Sim Bodhi from Impact will be there. Ooh. That's going to be a crazy card, man. Right after big event, everybody come down, hang out at Victory Pro Wrestling. It's going to be a huge night. Oh, where can we get Nyxx shirts? Before I forget.
Oh, I currently have an Etsy up where and everything. If you go to like my my Twitter or my Instagram, I have a linked tree link where you can go to all of my social media. And my Etsy shop should be on there, so you can get shirts, hoodies, buttons. I think I have like water bottles, just all the good stuff. So
Okay, awesome. And I just found out that on the All Pro Wrestling show in December, it is Smitty's birthday.
snap, let's go.
So make sure you guys come down in December as well and tell Smitty happy birthday. All right. As we should. And hopefully they don't try to kidnap Smitty too.
Okay.
All right, everybody. I will be back tomorrow with the one and only Raina Black.
Yeah.
She is coming back to the podcast.
Let's go.
Let's freaking go. And what else I got in here? I got a lot of stuff in here, man. So much stuff in here. I know I want to bring up one more. All right. Coming up soon is Bobby Buffet from Monster Factory. You may have seen the hit Apple TV show. He is coming to the podcast.
Ooh.
So stay tuned for that.
Coming
up. Nyxx, thank you very much for coming on the podcast. Appreciate you coming on.
Thank you. I've been trying ever.
I know it's my schedule's been crazy.
Same.
But stay on for a moment. Everybody else, I will see you tomorrow night at 6.